Hi, and welcome to the Crafty Author. My name is Anissa. I am the Crafty Author, and welcome to my quilting studio. Today we're going to be making a cute Mother's Day gift, and we are going to be using the RICOMA 10 needle machine. Also, if you are interested in getting one of those machines, I have a new code for you where you can save 10%. And you can buy anything in the ricoma.shop.com store. Everything will be linked down below. And this is what we're gonna make today. We're gonna make this adorable dish towel. This one is for my mom. So she really likes the little hippie gnomes. So I made hers just a little bit different. And so it's adorable. And this is what it'll look like when it's hanging on her kitchen cabinet here. This is what the back looks like. And that's what her little gnome towel will look like. I will link to the designer also in the description box. This is a design from Creative Fabrica. Okay, so we're going to open creativefabrica.com, and I am going to make this spring gnome here. It is by ArtEMByNatali, and so we're going to choose this little gnome right here. There's several different file sizes that you can choose from, and we are going to choose the one that is 4.51 by 4.17. I know I'm showing 5.5 by 5.10, but that's going to just be way too big for our hoop size that we're going to be working with today. Okay, so I have our embrilliance pulled up, and I'm showing my 5x7 hoop here, and I'm trying to get this in focus for you, so give me just a sec. All right, there we go. Now we're in focus, and now we're going to import our gnome design. So I'm going to show you why we're going with the smaller one first. So as you can see, I'm going to choose the smaller or the larger one, and you'll see how it fits in here in just a minute, which is a little bit too big. So that's too big for our hoop. So now we're going to go back in and we're going to pull up the one that is going to fit our hoop size perfectly. And I'm just trying to figure out where it is. I'm just counting up. And I'm counting by looking at the different types of files that there are. So if you're working like on a Brother machine, you would be using a PES file. If you're doing a Janome, it would be a JEF file, but we're doing a DST file for the RICOMA. So that's the one I'm going to select right there, and you see how that fits in. All right, so I am going to embroider on this tea towel. These are Mother's Day tea towels for women in my family. This is the little gnome that I'm going to put on here, and I am using the dime print and stick Target paper. I absolutely love this stuff. It is such a game changer when you're doing embroidery, because you can peel this part off and stick it down here, and it'll show you how to center it onto your actual hoop and get everything nice and perfect. So I highly recommend this. I love it, love it, love it. We are going to use some cutaway stabilizer, just because I find that cutaway works a little bit better on these tea towels. If you're not using a cutaway, after you wash them is when you start to see some of the issues with the puckering and stuff. So definitely want to use some cutaway. You can also double that up if you'd like, and I just might do that just because I like to do that. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this, and then I'm going to put them on my hoop. Just like that. Now I can either float my design or I can hoop my design. So it just depends on what you're most comfortable with. And I think I might actually hoop my design this time instead of floating it like I normally do. So I have this folded in a way that is going to, the design is going to work out this way. I just kind of want to keep it folded so that when we go to use these for real, everything turns out really good. So like probably right there is where I'm going to hoop. So just fold it over onto your design and just work with it that way. Okay. Need to move that out. Okay. Now I did get the tea towel from my local quilt shop, and it's an OESD product, in case you're wondering. Straightening some things out here. This is why I like to float my designs most of the time. The hooping of it all is just kind of it's a pain in my butt. All right. Get in there. There we go. Oh, finally. Yes. Sure. So we're just going to continue. I'm just going to give this a small little tug to tighten that. It doesn't have to, you don't want to pull it so tight that you stretch your fabric, but you want to make sure that your stuff is taut in here. And then I'm just going to tighten up my hoop here. And you can use a screwdriver or whatever you have around. So I have this little screwdriver from an old Kenmore machine that I used to have, and I use it to tighten my embroidery hoops. Some machines come with a screwdriver that you can tighten the embroidery hoops with. My brother machine came with one, and it's awesome because it just put it on there and just tighten it. Okay, so that's good right there, and we are ready to proceed here. So now I'm going to take my little gnome, and I'm going to peel off this sticker right here. Just like that. And now I have this clear sheet. So now I can center this on my, right here where I want my design. Now I'm going to use my little lines here to line up. So I'm using the lines that are in my hoop to line my design. Another way you could do this is you could actually mark it. You could do it with a pencil, or you could do it with anything that you have around to just kind of have a marking tool. So like I'm using a small ruler, and I'm just going to mark like right there. And then I'm going to mark across right there. The pencil will wash out. So now I know that I can set my design right there, and it will work out perfectly. You can also use a friction pin and then use the heat to get it off. But that's what I'm doing right there. It's just this little mark. And now I can line this up perfectly. little bit further down. Just like that. So now I know that my design is perfectly placed, like that. And that's right where it's going to stitch out. So I am going to take our design, put it on the RICOMA. We're going to be working with that machine today, and then we'll start stitching it out. All right, so I have everything set up on the RICOMA, and so we're going to start stitching out our design. Now, if you are interested in getting a RICOMA machine, this is the RICOMA EM-1010. This is a 10 needle machine, and of course, as you know, I absolutely love it. I will link down below in the description box where you can pick up this machine. And if you want to save 10% at shopricoma.com, then use my code ANISA10 and you will save 10%. I will also link that down below in the description box. All right, so our design is done stitching out, and now we can take our hoop off of here. And you can see our cute little design on our towel as I throw everything on the floor. Anyway, so what we want to do now is we just want to trim this back, but we don't want to cut all of it off. And so I am just going to start kind of just cutting a little bit around the design, but I want to leave some of this stabilizer on here so that it will continue to stabilize my design. But you want to be careful not to cut into your fabric when you're doing this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fabric and some lace to this design. So I'm going to press out the fabric that I've chosen here, and it is a Tula Pink, and it is just a fabric piece that I had left over from a quilt that I made. And I'm going to fold it in half after I get done pressing the top here. So I'm going to fold in half, wrong sides facing each other. And then I'm going to use my iron to press it. And then what I'm going to do is open it up, and I'm going to fold in. And I'm going to press that with some steam as well. And then I'm going to do that to the other side. Just making sure that those raw edges match up right there in the center. And now I'm going to fold the whole thing in half, and I'm going to press it down so that it will stay together. All right, so I went ahead and took my folded piece over to the iron, folded it, and then I stitched on both sides. And now I'm going to place them down here. I'm going to use some pins to hold this in place. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. And then I'm going to take a piece of ruffle that I have like ribbon, or not ribbon, but trim, like this lace trim. That's what it's called, lace trim. Jeez. And I'm actually going to stitch that on top of our bottom piece here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this down right here, and then I'm going to stitch this down. Then I will put this on top. And when I'm stitching that, I'm also going to fold this part over, and I'm going to stitch that down on the back side. So that's what I will be doing. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that fun tutorial. It's a great gift for a mom on Mother's Day. These also make great birthday gifts or housewarming gifts, wedding gifts, any kind of gifts. They're absolutely wonderful, and they're super easy to make. Just really, really super easy. So if you'd like to follow me on social media, the links are down below in the description box. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that little bell. You get notified each and every time that I upload an awesomely cool new video, and keep on crafting. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.